Good afternoon, my beautiful, benevolent warrior brothers and herons, sisters of love and light. Today is March the 26th. It's a Friday. The time is 2:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm reporting to you from the future. Let me show you what this rare, very rare pair of earthquakes, both two different ones, they're reporting it at 5.7 and 5.8. But if you add the half magnitude that they always automatically take off, this would be easily a 6.3, because 2.2 will make it 6. Okay, 0.2 will make it 6, and what's left is 0.3, right? So 6.3. Here, this one is 6.2. Either way, and look, the depth is 10. So that tells you that this is way deeper than 599 kilometers in depth of how deep these earthquakes were right here. This is very, very rare. So let's check the antipode to this, okay? Which is the antipode is the opposite end. All right. So as you can see here, I'm seeing through the planet, all right? That's obviously Australia there. This is the Indonesian islands, okay? So over here, you can see that Africa is this edge, this is India. So it's away from Africa, okay, and the southeast corner, which would be our southwest. But just to make sure, it's away from Africa, it's more towards the east, okay, on the southeast corner of Australia. Okay, so check this out. So it's this one right here. It's obvious. It's the biggest one right now. It's in all red. Obviously, this is the backside, right? So I'm going to take off the inside, which means take off the see-through so it becomes solid. One more time. Look at where the circle's at. Keep your eye on that. So basically, it's dead center of this globe, of this sphere, of this representation of the planet. All right. So it would be around here, right? So what's there? It's dead center of the main culprit of many things that's to come, which is the Icelandic Volcano that is erupting right here, which is technically where the new North Pole is at. They're telling us, look it up. I cannot make this stuff up. In case you didn't know, the scientists all over the world have already reported just recently, not even 3 months ago, that the North and the South Pole have shifted. They're not saying that it's going to shift eventually, inevitably. No, they say that it already has shifted. It has been shifting for over a century, but it got really amped up in the past 8 to 9 years, insanely fast, traveling miles per day. Okay, but what they told us is that the North Pole was going to end up over here around Siberia. Okay, but no, I'm telling you the North Pole is about here, technically the southeast corner of Greenland. Okay, which is what? Iceland. Is that a coincidence? Check this out. If what I'm saying, this is the North Pole. This is where the main volcano's being active right now, right? And in case you didn't know, it hasn't been active for 700 years. This hasn't been active. All of a sudden it is at the rate that it is. I'm telling you, this is showing us proof. Mother Nature is letting us know. Mother Earth is letting us know that this is the North Pole. How can I tell? That one circle I'm always pointing out, the same exact size. It fits right there perfect, guys. Not only that, keep your eye on Iceland. I'm going to make it not solid. Iceland is about here. That goes to show you, that's the antipode. It never comes out straight exactly to the point. Meaning, if you were to shoot, say for instance, a weak tree, even a weak tree that's already kind of dead, and you shoot it from a distance, okay? Especially a strong tree, we'll say a strong tree, but even a weak tree, you shoot it so say for instance, if you have a side view of you filming, for instance, a relative shooting at this tree, the point where it enters, okay, horizontal to the plane of where we stand, all right, 3D plane, the back where it exits, it's never going to be exactly at the same elevation, and most likely it'll be lower because of gravity. But depending on the velocity, depending on the size of the bullet, depending on the body type itself as well, it might ricochet off bones and even, believe it or not, organs, okay? And it won't be a crazy deviation unless the bullet is very small, like a 22 caliber, which is very small. It can penetrate, but a 22 caliber will not kill you, but it will create a lot of havoc because it'll go in and it'll go all kinds of places. And it might just stay inside. Okay, a bigger bullet, it will go straight through you overall, for the most part. But even though it goes straight to you, on the backside, it might not even come out. It might come out slightly left of the center point where if you shoot at dead center of the target, it might come out a little bit slightly to the left, a little bit slightly to the right, a little slightly to the up, a little slightly to the down, depending on where the force shifts it, deviates it. Okay, so this shows you proof there. And not only that, look at the same exact circle I pointed out. Look at it, matches with this lineup. It matches with this hotspot of the New Zealand area. Okay, the New Zealand area. Yeah, it's away from Africa. So yeah, that is the New Zealand area. So check it out. It matches perfectly to where even this one, which is very rare. I just realized, no, there's no way that's an earthquake. That's pointing to this one. That's the number for that one. I was about to say that's very rare for an earthquake to be at Antarctica. But check it out. So that goes to show you it's information, if you may, energy transferring straight through. That's how hard we're being blasted by these energies that no one has control over. It's not a conscious energy coming to kill us. No, it's just something that happens every several hundreds to thousands of years, depending on the cycle that we're looking into. And there's many cycles, and many of them are technically crisscrossing at this time and frame. Okay, this has never happened in over 26,000 years, but way over that. Okay, in case you didn't know, over 70,000, I think, or a little bit less. Some people will say less because there's actual written records of it. Other people think as most humans were not conscious, if you may, by then, because we've had humans here for a lot longer. I'll say it, several millions of years, but we weren't always as conscious as we are now. Now, there's written records showing that our North Star at one point was Vega. Look up Vega in the constellation of Lyra. I cannot make this up. This is coming from the ether right now as we speak. How can I have all this information all of a sudden when I have very bad memory because I've been blown up many times? This is not speaking to you guys. I'm just flowing in the flow. And I'm tapping into the Akash, if you want to call it that. And this is where I get all this information. It's impossible for me to retain all this information. But I'm giving it to you in hopes that you prepare for it. Not to give you fear because we have no control over this. But if you consider this, and if something happens near you, guess what? You have a better chance of surviving. Yes or no? If you ignore it, guess what? Bye-bye. And please stop following me. And I don't mean like stalking me out in public. I mean following me on Facebook and all my other social media stuff. Stop following me because I'm going to keep triggering you. If you don't want to be triggered, okay, by your own ego and your own reflection, meaning the mirror that is being presented by me who does not exist. Somehow, some way, this is why I trigger you so much, is to wake you guys up. I was born, the physical side of me was born in the year of the rooster. What do roosters do? Cock-a-doodle-doo! Wake the fuck up, right? So anyways, that goes to show you guys, okay? All this energy is going to transfer, guys. It's going to transfer, like I keep saying, down this. You can barely see it. This is a fault line. That's why there's an earthquake there, okay? And this is going to transfer this way, like it has. Look at that. What number do you see right there? 5.8. Just like this one, 5.8. And check this out. What was over here on this one? No way. Is it going to be 5.8? No way. No way. It can't be. There's no way. And it is. And what is this? Even next door there's a 5.8. Guys, I'm telling you, I cannot make this stuff up. Okay? So please, if you know people around here, just remind them, hey, please be ready for earthquakes, not just floods, because I know you guys are being flooded right now. I believe this is the area that's being flooded. Brazil being flooded, Indonesia being flooded, Japan also flooded, snow when it's not supposed to be snowing, all these things. Hey, hint, Agata, yeah, I'm pointing you out straight up in public. I can't believe I gave you scientific proof, meaning it's scientific because it's actual facts coming from scientists, meaning from the USGS reports and all that, and I'm giving you an analysis. I'm giving you information that's scientifically proven, and you still decide to take the ego side, the physical side, and ignore it. It's okay. But hey, that is what it is. But check it out. With this in mind, what can I tell you? What can I tell you? Goodness, I can't believe there's that much. I'm telling you guys, look. This is happening because there used to be a landmass here that's blatantly obvious here. This light colored stuff is just like this. It's closer to the surface. So all this used to be a landmass where New Zealand, Tonga area and all that used to be. Now, one thing I want to point out is there's no way this is a real distance here. It's impossible. You know why I say that? Because how is it that Samoans ended up all the way up here in a canoe? Not only that, there's been new information saying that Aztecs and Maori from New Zealand and all this area were actually technically combat friends. And they used to hunt bad giants. I know this sounds all crazy, guys, but I can't make this shit up. I have physical proof that I shared to you guys before, meaning in videos that I found. Scientists literally released this information about 6-7 weeks ago or so, maybe a little bit longer, that they found a cave with bones that belong to none other than could only be giants because they're so big of bones. And they're not animal bones. They're human beings, just completely huge. And it said that the Aztec and the Maori would go and hunt these giants in these caves all over New Zealand. Aztecs and Maori. If you don't know what Maori is, look it up and you're like, wait a minute. And then look at the movie Apocalypto and look at what their bodies look like. That's what real Aztecs look like overall. They were big men. Aztecs were actually big. The Maya were small. They were smaller. They were about my size. But the Aztecs, the average Aztecs were the size of most of the men that are in my family. The average height in my family is 5'10", which is pretty damn high for Mexicans. But a lot of my cousins, uncles, and even my brother is 6'2". But I have uncles and cousins that are bigger, taller than that. Okay, they're 6'3". I'm telling you guys, we've been lied to, okay? Now, what I'm saying is there's no way there's this much space in between us. Why do you think there's an insane amount of Samoans in Hawaii? There's no way they ended up here with getting drifted and lost and just ended up in this tiny island from another tiny island in Tonga. Or not Tonga, but obviously the Samoa Islands were somewhere around here somewhere. It's impossible to get all the way up here in one canoe. And trust me, I am Maori from my heart. And there's no way I am doubting my soul family. They're impossible to know. But from a canoe with all the crazy weather that supposedly the scientists tell us that happens, it's impossible. So what I'm saying is there is a lot less space in this huge open space that tell us here that there's nothing but one little island. That's impossible. Samoa to there? No. Impossible. Aztecs? From there to here to kill some giants? No. Impossible. The story? true. Yes, of course I cannot physically prove it to you. I have video footage of the information that was released, but I can't prove it to you. I can only present the information, just like I'm presenting all this other stuff. So, what I'm trying to say is, back to this one, and this light colored, well, look at it's almost, and it doesn't follow this line, but follow this line, and look at the trajectory of the actual earthquakes, exactly like that line. Not only that, look at this line over here. Bam, bam, bam. Look it goes exactly to what this outlining is. This used to be Lemuria. This was part of Lemuria. Okay, and it's coming back out. In case you guys didn't know, look it up. I know it sounds fucking crazy, but look up in the edge of Tokyo. There's actually pyramids in underwater in Tokyo. How the fuck are pyramids in Tokyo, for one? That's one, right? Two, how are they underwater? Okay? You're going to tell me that civilized, conscious beings, sentient beings decided, oh, we're going to waste our time to where no one can see it, and we're going to build pyramids underwater off the edge of Japan. That's impossible, guys. Not only that, I have found Mayan and Aztec statues that their faces look exactly what the ancient samurai look like, what the ancient Korean look like. Okay? The same exact face. Not only that, for some odd reason, somehow, there's a lot of Japanese people in Peru and this area. For some reason, there's a lot of people, Mexican people all over Mexico. Japanese people all over Mexico. And not only that, in Mexicali, there's a lot of Japanese people. Not only that, when I went to Japan, I picked up on the dialect so quickly, and they were astonished. They're like, huh? When they looked at me, and they're like, did you just, huh? And they're like, wow. Your Japanese very good. That's what they told me. How? Watashi wa koko ni koreto rishi desu. Because I really appreciated being there. And when they heard me say that, they're like, huh? It's not even that you said it properly. It's your dialect. It sounds exactly like us. Like, yeah. It's because we are all one. We have been lied to, guys. Goodness. So anyhow, notice how a lot of you will be duh. Well, not a lot. Some of you will be duh. Some of you won't even realize this. But look at this line of the plate tectonics where the Pangea first started, where we're all one. Quite literally. I cannot make this up. Look at this curve. Fits this curve. Look at this curve here. Fits this curve. Look at this curve. Fits this curve. It started here and it drifted out that way. This drifted out that way. This drifted out this way. So, this energy from Iceland is going to come down and it's going to keep devastating all this area. Even this area is getting devastated. Not only that, but somehow, some way, this energy is bypassing everything, bypassing California, and is ending up somewhere over here. And this is why this area is getting hit hard. This is why this line here is fractured here. The plate tectonics here is fractured. And this energy coming this way, energy coming from over here, and again, it's not that much spacing, it's a lot less. It's going to come this way even more, fracture that even more. Expect a big earthquake here. Big. At least an 8.9 that's going to fuck up a lot of people. And I said it that way, I'm sorry, but it will. By September, August 19th, the latest. Okay? This energy is going to come this way, blast this way. I'm sorry, but these islands are going to be very messed up. Some people believe this used to be Atlantis here. Some people believe that Atlantis is somewhere over here. I believe a big part of what resembled Atlantis used to be around here on the southwest side of Portugal. Now, where is Madrid? Have you heard of that word before? That city, that state, Madrid, Spain, right? Madrid, Spain, right? Why is it that this crazy bolt here that I keep talking about that is waking up that's been very active millions of years ago, not time soon, but it's going to act up again. This is why many, even the Navy, okay, they know that this is going to be an ocean like it once was before. Why do you think this is such a huge lake here? Because this was a huge ocean here. Just like this was a huge ocean here, and this was an island over here. But what do you think they call this? Many of you don't know, but this is called the Madrid. Just like Madrid, Spain, this is called the Madrid fault line right here that no one knows about really. And it's literally like in the shape of a bolt. Boom, 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 boom. And and just so happens to be what they use to separate the states. Not only that, so get this. The Aztecs, okay, are from Atlantis. I know it doesn't make sense, but Aztlan, which is the motherland of the Aztecs, is technically Atlantis. Atlantis, just like Atlanta, Georgia, Madrid. Southeast of Madrid is Atlantis. And in case you didn't know, the Aztecs were all this. Alright, I'm not saying we conquered all the other Native Americans, but in case you didn't know, look it up. I'm not saying we conquered all these other ones. No, it wasn't like that. It's just we all are one. The Maya were all the way up here, guys, and you will find a lot of cold hard evidence in Florida, but it's very difficult to find because they're hiding it. They don't want us to know that. Now, we were all one at once. In case you don't know, there's actually legends that the Hebrews, what do you think? Mormons are very big in Utah because it's not that they believe it was the Hebrews somehow crossed over, or this is the motherland for one, and there's been a lot of Egyptian artifacts found here, Hebrew artifacts all the way over here. How is it possible that? But the thing is that is fucking way older than 500 years, so it's way after, way before Columbus even got here. By mistake. Okay, another thing. So the Madrid fault line, right? This is Aztlan. At least to up here was Aztlan. All this was Aztlan. Okay? That makes sense. Madrid, southwest, Atlantis. Not only that, I cannot make this stuff up. It'll take you a long time to find it, so you might give up. But look it up. Sir Francis Bacon, the European, all right, who was big on giving a lot of momentum to the Renaissance period. In case you don't know, Renaissance in French is rebirth. Okay? Which is what's happening right now. We're going through a Renaissance period, and this is why they're giving us all these bullshit lies in the mainstream to keep you distracted away from waking up, or at least accepting your divinity, your consciousness, that we are rebirth. We have all these new artistic innate abilities that are just coming out of nowhere. I'm living proof. I can do all kinds of things now all of a sudden. But anyways, the point is southwest of Madrid is where a lot of people believe Atlantis was. I mean, look at the circle here. Like Atlantis. Atlantis was in a circle. What is the Aztec calendar and the Mayan calendar in the shape of? Exactly what Atlantis is depicted to look like. Not only that, look up true old depictions, not the ones that the fucking conquistadors left us. There's very few real pictures. All the other ones were destroyed. But the ones we do see are silly depictions made from what do you call them? Monks, not monks, but goodness, why can't I do, not pastors, but oh goodness, yeah, there were certain type of monks, monasteries, right? Is what they left behind, depicting what they would do, but they blamed it on us, so we would never see what they do. Okay, it is stupid to believe that we sacrificed people in hopes that the sun was going to come up. You know what? There was one small tribe at one point that did do that, just like in Brazil, just like in other places, that just were guided by the wrong energies. Okay, but still, those depictions don't even come from that. Those depictions come from them making us believe that we are doing what they are truly doing. Everything is in reverse, as above, so below, people. So, to continue with this, what else can I tell you? Energy is going to come that way. All the other ones, I mean, I'm sorry. I could give information on the other ones, but I'm sorry. I don't have enough people in those areas. I'm only trying to give information on where I know a lot of people are at. Look at that, 6.1. 6.1, all right? That's what they're reporting it at right here, and I trust them more. And check this out. What are they reporting it at? 5. Oh, shit! This is in Japan. Holy fuck. Oh, goodness. This is not good. Oh, wow. Just like when I was talking about the... Holy fuck. And I did mention that there was going to be a rare earthquake in between Japan and China on the west side. Wow. I already had one that was right here, but I was like, why even report it? Why even say, oh, look, I was right? Now I have to tell you, I'm right. Look, I actually said that there will be one in between. A big one. Holy smokes. And so see, look at how low they went here. 5.8. But yet over here, they have it as a 6.1. And even at the lowest, if you add 5, 3, it's a 6.2. So that goes to show you this is real. This is at least a 6.3. 5.9, this is at least a 6.4. Let's see if I refresh this. Let's see if it, sometimes, because it takes a long time for this one to pick up. So let's see if they have that 6 point. Oh, there it is. See? Look at that. They have it as a 7. I cannot make this shit up. Come on, man. Please. Stop ignoring me, man. I can care less about me. I'm saying stop ignoring the information I'm disseminating to you guys. I cannot make this stuff up. Come on. How? I'm showing you that I'm refreshing. This wasn't there a few minutes ago. And now it is. Come on, guys. I cannot make this stuff up. That's not a good one either. I'll explain why in a little bit. Look it. It's there. I cannot make it. And again, they show it at 7. What are they showing at? 5.9, guys. Come on. I cannot make this shit up, guys. I cannot make this shit up. All right? You've been warned. You all been warned. Last thing that I want to show you why this is not good. We'll check the antipode to this. So let it keep going. This is not good either, but oh well. Look at that. Look at how all of them are exactly dead to the T on this line. You know what this line is? This is the ecliptic. This is the winter ecliptic. This is the summer ecliptic. Goodness. Look at how they fall right on those lines. Alright, so now to show you the antipode of the one I said over here inside, right? We're going to see what's on the opposite end. And bam! What's here? This. This is going to go that way, guys, when it blasts through. Oh, goodness, guys. Wow, another one. Right where I said. Didn't I say that this energy was going to come up this way and hit Texas? This is very abnormal. Oh, goodness. Not only that, I have a friend that was literally, I cannot make this stuff up. He was literally, what was it, a day ago. He was in Georgia. And he called me saying, hey, bro, should I stay here another day or two? Because I need to finish this recording, because he records big artists, okay? He was over there helping manage a recording an artist by recording them and other things, right? Well, the thing was, he was asking, maybe I should stay another day or so to finish up this project, or should I go back? And I was like, man, I don't know why he's calling me and asking me this. I mean, cool, thank you for, I didn't tell him this, but I was like, okay, well, I started to tap into his energy. I was like, oh, brother, you know what? You need to come right away. Don't risk staying there. I don't understand why, but it seems like it'll be destructive. I am not joking, guys. I will show you a text that he sent me, okay? And he said, bro, thank you for what you told me, because if I would not have listened to what you said, I might have been dead by now. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about, right? And then when I got to talk to him, he's like, oh yeah, before we hang up, remember that thing I told you about? If I wouldn't have listened to you, I would be dead right now. I was like, yeah, I want to know what the fuck you mean by that. And he said, well, lo and behold, I booked my flight right away. Last minute, I was barely able to get it. I got out of there. And today when I landed, he said several hours after his nap, he checked again. And there was a devastating tornado in Georgia. Okay, so in case you haven't heard of that, and if you know people there, please check on them. Okay, so all this edge up to this edge and this edge here, the way it looks here, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening here in these areas, as it already is. So anyways, the point is when he checked back with the artist, he said that he still hasn't heard from them and he's really concerned. Okay, so in case you guys didn't know that, check to see people in North Georgia. I don't know exactly where, but he said that he was in Georgia and it got hit really hard. It was a really weird name, the city, the way it's called. But anyways, I cannot make this stuff up. I already told you here, dead in your faces, all this popped up as I was giving you this report. Okay, last thing is, let's check this other one, which is very rare, right here. And we'll check the other one too. Might as well. Because it's three. It's in that same size of circle. Try to keep this in mind. Okay? This size right here. So I can show you one more time how it's the same size up there. Everything hits within this size right here. Okay? So we'll see what the antipode to this is. Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii's going to erupt. And what is it? March 26th. So what was it, 2018, 2019, it erupted heavily around May 2nd, I think it was. I think it will replay again. And I'm thinking it was April 12th, but yeah, May 2nd, the latest. Kilauea is going to erupt, and I have a feeling Mauna Loa is going to explode. Explode like it did in 1904 or something like that. Look it up. Mauna Loa or Kilauea severe explosion, severe eruption, early 1900s, and you can't miss it. It'll come out. You cannot hide that stuff. So, and not only that, when there was an earthquake here at 8.2, 8.3 in Alaska by Anchorage, Alaska, I think it was 1964, look it up. It created a big tsunami and it reached many places. Obviously, by the time it reached these areas, it wasn't a big tsunami. But the information, the energy transferred just like a sound wave, just like a ripple. Energy is energy. Even though New Zealand, when it reaches the energy to New Zealand, it's not even going to be detectable to the naked eye, but energy wise it will be, because energy is energy. It doesn't stop flowing. What else so let's check that the last one, the one that was over here. So I think this is yeah, that energy is going to transfer towards Hawaii. Definitely. Mark my words, guys. Hawaii will erupt before, and I mean big time. I don't mean the way it is right now. This is what I mean about there's 50 plus volcanoes erupting right now. Not erupting, but active with volcanism, where you can see it. Similar to like how Kilauea is not always erupting and flowing like Etna has been and Fuego has been and Icelandic Volcano, which is very rare because it was asleep for 700 years. Okay, and over here in Japan, right now, there's active volcanoes. I mean, flowing, spilling things up into the air. That's not normal. Especially to have more than 3 at one point. It's not normal. And right now, there's at least 7 throwing very high up. Magma. That's unheard of ever. Look it up ever. In the history, you would not find records of these many volcanoes erupting. And I guarantee you, this is what has kept the big one from hitting. And I don't mean the big one as in an 8.2, 8.9, because that already happened and it didn't devastate anyone, thankfully, because of all this volcanism. But there is a, believe it or not, and I'm going to tell you, 13 magnitude to 14 that is expected to come, I would say within the next 6 years at the most. And most likely it's going to happen in September. In the year 2024, when the total solar eclipse is supposed to happen. It's going to create an energetic anomalies. Okay, just like I told my friends that the plumes that the Icelandic volcano is releasing, the energy, the jet streams come this way, and it's going to block the sun. And it's going to make these areas very badly freezing from Siberia all the way to the Poland, Netherlands, all this area. They're going to freeze very bad. Doesn't mean it's going to happen all at once. No, just section might happen here. And it's not like crazy freezing, but it's going to be way above normal. Not to where people are dead in their tracks as they're walking home. No, but animals, maybe. Yeah, because they might travel further and not even realize that all of a sudden this instant, instant cold, crazy breeze comes that is freezing. That's what happened in Brazil and even in all over in Africa is happening, where all of a sudden, especially in Brazil, all of a sudden, and you can see in the videos, everybody's dressed like half naked naturally, and that goes to, and then shops are open everywhere, and it's like, how the fuck are the people out? It's not that they're stupid. It's because they weren't expecting it. Because for one, the mainstream media didn't tell them, and 2, for some reason they don't tell them, and for 3, it just comes out of nowhere. I have videos that are from 2017 in Brazil, different places, India, where you can see literally nothing but a solid gray coming down and in a huge space that is like more than 40, no, I won't say that big, like 25 miles of radius, and you can't see through it because it's nothing but a ocean just falling down. I cannot make this stuff up. I know it sounds crazy, but the movies are not wrong. And I never thought I would say this, but it will get that insane eventually, and not everywhere, and not all at once. And no, it's not gonna be like California splitting way in half, and then like a big part of it goes like, what is it? Like they showed in the movies. What is it? Like 60 feet up in the air, and the other one's gonna collapse. No, it's not gonna be that drastic and not that quick. And eventually, those numbers might be reached, but in a very long time, and I mean decades and decades and decades and decades. But anomalies are gonna shift, and we're not gonna be able to adapt to them because we haven't been told about this, and no one's gonna be ready to be able to feed themselves and their families all over. And in populated areas, people are going to panic way too quickly. And just like in the movies, Mad Max, all these other ones, it's going to be like that. It will. I know I sound crazy, but oh well, guess what? I'm living like a king. That's all that matters. And not in a selfish way, because I try to disseminate this information for over a decade now. Lost everyone for the most part, even my own family. They won't admit it, but I did, even to this day. We kind of got back together a little bit once my mother transitioned back in January 20th of last year. But all of a sudden, once the shock went away and we accepted that she's gone and we still love her, we still feel her, they got complacent, and now, they're starting to think I'm going back to crazy again, because it is what it is. Because of the things I'm releasing, the information I'm saying. I'm hardly ever around, because I lose track of time, because the way my brain works, I was blown up many times. So I can't help it that for me, time does not pass. This is why my body, my face looks so young. It's a placebo effect that the brain does not understand that time passed by, so the body believes it. It truly does work that way. This is why I always say, the all is mind, the universe is mental. Jeremiah 17:10. What you see in the world is what's inside of your heart. So what's inside of your heart, as above, so below, as inside, so outside, will be projected out. Meaning your interpretation, your perception of things will be projected out. By me telling you this, if you can come to have the courage to just entertain it just every now and then to see, what if that were to happen? What if? Where do I live at? And then where I live at is susceptible to earthquakes. If you don't live in a earthquake-prone area, where I live at is susceptible for snow, avalanches, things like that, volcanoes, whatever it may be. And if those things do happen, what would happen? Let's see. Okay, and if that happens, what will happen if you have children? What will happen if my children were at school or at a friend's or whatever when that does happen? How am I going to get in contact with them if there is no, for some reason, reception? So by thinking of all these things, you might run it through your family here and there, even though they might think you're crazy. But oh well, eventually when they do hear you, yeah, they might not like it. But when it happens, they'll be like, oh, whoa, I already know what to do and this and that. And then eventually be like, man, thank you for letting me know. I thought you were crazy and I really didn't think it through. But it was stuck in my subconscious and somehow I just knew what to do. We have no control over this. I'm trying to help you so that you lessen your shock when it does happen, because it will happen. Something weird is going to happen within the next 6 years around your area to where it's devastating. If not physically, meaning like your infrastructure gets destroyed, it's going to be internally because of people you love that will be affected. And this is why I'm saying all this. So if that happens, you know how to school them, if you may. One love, one light, for together our light will shine much brighter. Not sure how long this transmission went because I just flow. Look at that. There's more. 5.8. Goodness. You don't... What? There's more here now? These weren't here earlier. Why aren't they red? What the? Goodness. Whatever, I'm done. I already showed you more than enough. If you can't connect these dots that I'm giving you, oh well. To each their own. Oh goodness. Look, even more. Oh goodness. This is not good. This is not normal. Oh goodness, goodness, goodness. Oh goodness, goodness, goodness. And I'm telling you, if this is a new North Pole, like I'm telling you, I can make it smaller. Cool. Think about this. If this is a new North Pole, this is literally the new equator here. This is not an equator section. The equator goes right here, the one we know. It goes right here, right in between these cracks, like that, and then comes up because here is our North Pole. Where is it? Like somewhere up here somewhere, right? Somewhere up here, something like that. But I'm telling you, the new North Pole, oh thank you for doing it by accident, is over here. Not over here where they tell us in Siberia that it's going to end up. It's already where it's supposed to be. That's one, and that's the X. This is the South Pole. Okay? They were saying that the South Pole was going to end up somewhere over here, and then the North Pole over there. Some scientists were saying that the North Pole and the South Pole, magnetic-wise, are going to end up in the same exact point eventually. Who knows? It might. But that's just energetic. It's not the real North Pole. But the magnetic north, a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of we're very dependent on it, okay? And if that thing is moving or it already moved and they're telling us it moved somewhere else where it didn't move, it moves here, not over here. And there's no way it's moving from here to there because of the timing that they gave us. They said it's somewhere nearing Siberia, and it's not, okay? It's already basically where it's going to end up. This is the new North Pole. Why do you think there's one island there that's pretty big, and it's Iceland? And then the one that's all supposedly really frozen, look, why is it called Greenland when it's not really green? It's because it was once green when it wasn't the North Pole area. Anyhow, look at that. Hawaii is already going too. Oh well. I'm giving you the information. I'm going to go back to living like a king, happily ever after. Peace may be with you at all times. My name is Jesus Zai Medina. I'm the creator of the 1, 2, 3, 4 flush. And as a fighter, I am known as Striker because I strike a lot. You'll see reason why I'm bringing this up very soon. You'll see. You won't see why very soon, but very soon you'll start to see the reason, not the reasons, but evidence of why. You'll see. So anyhow, this line here is the new equator. You'll see. At one point, Alaska was green all the time. It was a forest. Because when Vega was our North Star, this was our equator. The lines are there for a reason. Okay? One love, one life. Peace may be with you at all times. Be prepared. That's all. Just be prepared. That's all we can do. We have no control over this. Love you all. Don't be afraid. We have no control over this. Peace.